All right, so this is what my exhaust tips were looking like before I started, and this is what they look like after I tried to use just polish and realized that wasn't enough. All right, I wanted to make a video about this. I am working on polishing my exhaust tips on the Evo. I will put a picture of what they look like before I started, but I already started sanding them with 60 grit. I bought like a 100 pack of sanding papers on Amazon for like 10 bucks. It goes from 60 grit all the way to 2000 grit. And then I'm using this like mouse sander that I got at Menards. Pretty cheap, pretty affordable. You just stick the pads on there. They're like Velcro. And then, yeah, I started by cleaning them up with Scotch-Brite pad, and that was showing me that these were actually pretty pitted. So, you know, using polish isn't actually going to do anything. So then I decided that I was going to go from 60 to 2000. So I'll show you the steps that I do to get them looking like new again, basically. Obviously, there's going to be some small pits still probably, but they're going to look a lot better than they did. So I'll show you what they looked like before, and then I will show you the steps to get all the way to fully polished. Another thing I wanted to point out is that you probably should just remove the muffler. It probably wouldn't be that hard. I, got some mounts there and then one V-band clamp, but I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do that. But just be careful not to sand away at your whatever is around your exhaust tip. Obviously, the top of this I'm going to have to sand by hand because I can't get the mouse sander up in there, but you can't really see that anyway, and that part's not too pitted anyway. So just going to do the best that I can while this is on the car. All right, this is after 120 grit. I'm not cleaning these or anything after I'm sanding them. I'm just showing you what it looks like after sanding, and then I'm going up to the next grit. So that's 120. I also recommend wearing a mask when you do this because your lungs will thank you. All right, this is 240. 240 grit. This is 400. 400 grit. All right, this is 600 grit. I actually did wipe them off with a microfiber this time because I feel like my sandpaper was getting kind of loaded up with dust. So I wanted to try to prevent that, but obviously there's still some stuff. Not perfect, but better than it was. So that's 600. Okay. This is 800. $800 grit. This is 1,000. Almost there. Got 1,200, 1,500, and then 2,000 to go. I might try a little bit of polish right now just to see what it looks like, but I'll probably end up sanding it all the way up to 2,000 anyway. But this is 1,000. I put a little bit of polish on this after 1,000, and obviously, I mean, you can see a reflection of my phone, and you can see my face a little bit in it, so it's definitely getting there, but I think I'm gonna go all the way up to 2,000 and then try to get that mirror finish, which is obviously what we want. This is 1,200 after hitting it with the microfiber real quick after I sanded it. It's starting to get pretty shiny. It's a new day now, so the sun's out, so that helps a little bit, but yep, that's 1,200. This is 1,500. Almost done. All right, this is 2,000. Honestly, the last few steps I haven't been able to tell much of a difference, but I had the paper, so I thought I might as well just go all the way up. But now we're gonna try some polish. All right, this is after using a polish that's called Brasso. Honestly, not super impressive. I'm gonna go to the other side and try some Mother's Mag and Aluminum polish, which I think is a little bit better. I mean, it's not terrible, but definitely not like a mirror finish by any means. All right, the mothers definitely gave us more of a shine, more of the result that I'm looking for compared to the Brasso. So again, this is the mothers, just after one quick wipe with like a microfiber and then cleaning it off with another microfiber. That's the mothers, and then this is the Brasso. You can definitely still see a lot of scratches from the sanding in the Brasso one, so I don't think it's doing as much polishing as it is just cleaning, which, I mean, it is clean, but it's more foggy and faded looking than the mothers. Another thing to note is the Brasso smells awful, and the mothers actually smells pretty good, so that's another benefit of using that. But I'm gonna go back. I have a little sanding pad, or like a foam pad that I can use on the mouse sander, so I'm gonna try polishing these with the foam pad on the sander to see if that helps speed things up a bit. So this is what the Brasso looks like. I mean, it's not the best, but it did do something, but not great. This is the Mother's aluminum polish. I've had this in my toolbox forever. It's probably about double that price these days, but it does work really well, so I would recommend using this. So this is the foam pad I was talking about. It's got Velcro on the back, and it came with my sander. I'm sure you could probably buy more of these, but it came with a bunch of different attachments that I could use, so I figured I'd try it out. But I got the polish on there, so I'm gonna see. All right, here we go. I think this is pretty much as good as it's gonna get. I went back over it a few times, polishing it by hand, using like a microfiber pad, and then polishing it out, like buffing it with a microfiber towel. They're pretty shiny. Definitely 1000% better than what we started with. I mean, definitely got some scratches, but this is I don't even know how old, 7, 8-year-old exhaust, maybe even more. I bought it used and then put it on this car 5, 6 years ago, so it's definitely seen some abuse, and obviously I didn't clean it for a long time, so that's why I got pitted out and corroded. But I think we brought some new life back into it, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks, especially since this is just my daily driver / winter car. As much as that is kind of funny to some people, but yep, it's gonna get thrown around through the winter again, so it doesn't need to be perfect, but it looks a hell of a lot better. So that's how you do it.